Good morning, students. My name is Sanjeev Sharma, lecturer in English, and today I would like to teach you the first chapter of 12th class of Flamingo, the last lesson. I hope that you will be listening attentively by avoiding my follies. So, boys and girls, the first lesson is the last lesson. The last lesson is one of the best creations thrown up by Alphonse Daudet. Alphonse Daudet was considered one of the best novelists and short story writer of English literature. He is having eminent and prominent place in the history of entire English literature. When he was writing the story, he was in French army. It was a time of 1870 and 71. At that time, France was in a state of war with Prussians and German. Prussia and Germany were at one sided and France was at different sided. So as a result, what was going on? France was defeated. When France was defeated, the two cities of France, Alsace and Lorraine, had been occupied by Germany. And the orders had been released from Berlin, the capital of Germany, that all the French teachers would be replaced by the Germans. So this was a matter of pain and agony and grief for Mr. Alphonse Daudet. And he just wanted to show his pain in front of the eyes of the readers. That's why he had decided to write a story. And you know very well, boys and girls, whenever suppose if any person would like to write a story, he needs some characterization. So that's why he would like to. And that's why for characterization, he selected merely the two characters. The first one is a French language teacher, Mr. M. Hamill, H-A-M-E-L Hamill. And the second one is merely a student. His name was Franz, F-R-A-N-Z. The story gets started. One morning, Franz, the student, he leaves his home unwillingly going to school. Why unwillingly? Unwillingly means that he doesn't want to go to school. Why? Because one day before, Mr. Hamill had given him some participles to learn. It was a homework, but he has not learned even a single word out of them. As a result, he was scared. He was scared that he would be scolded by Mr. Hamill because Mr. Hamill to be considered one of the hard task master boys they used to have scared of him. That's why he did not want to go to school. He just wanted to stay away from the school without going to school. He just wanted to come back. So that's why slowly he started moving. And at a distance to his house, boys and girls, there was a sawmill. Sawmill means, I would like to say, sawmill is that place where the big wooden logs are being cut out with the machines. That is called sawmill. At the back side of the sawmill, there was an enormous ground. And in that ground, the Prussian soldiers were doing drill march. Left, right, left, right, left, right, in this way with musical bands. Friends, the student, he was unaware about that incident that the two cities, Alsace and Lorraine, had been occupied by the Prussians, and now this time, what would the condition of their country? He simply got lost in the musical band and started listening to their sound, and he got mesmerized by sitting over there for a few minutes, maybe 10-15 minutes, and he was lost. But suddenly when he started realizing that, oh my God, he was getting late for the school, immediately he took out his satchel on his back and started running tremendously towards the school, and within few minutes and he could be able to reach in the mid of the town hall, and there he found a huge crowd nearby the bulletin board. Yes, my dear boys and girls, bulletin board. As I depicted, it was the time of 1870 and 71. At that time, no source were there. For example, no radios used to be there. No newspaper used to be there, no television used to be there, no internet facility used to be there. Only just like a bulletin board, and there a person used to come every morning and he used to paste the latest news and the people used to get the information. And for the last 2 years, the bad news had been coming continuously. It means that 2,000 soldiers had died, and the Prussian soldiers and German soldiers, they are entering in our country. So this kind of some bad news had been coming, and now this time France was panicking. It means what had been done right now. His curiosity was increasing. He was getting panicky, what to do, what not to do. But that's why, means actually because of fear of Mr. Hamill, he was really a hard taskmaster, boys and girls. And that's why he had left all the things and tremendously started running towards the school. But there was a blacksmith. Yes, boys and girls, there was a blacksmith and he was standing between, and he called friends. Hey, you friends, little, listen to me. You have a plenty of time, no need to run. But Franz, as he got scared, he didn't listen to him and started running towards the school. And within few minutes, he reached in the premises of the school. As he entered into the premises, and he was panting in this way, and he got surprised. He got surprised to see the peaceful and calm atmosphere of the school. It was as cool, as quiet as Sunday morning. What could be done at that time? He couldn't understand. He means because it was a normal working day. It was not a Sunday. No noise of the boys who are jostling and elbowing was coming. No sound of the ruler of Mr. Hamill tapping on the table, it was coming. No chirping of the birds were coming. So means he could not understand. He was surprised, but due to the fear of Mr. Hamill, he had left all the things and tremendously started moving towards his classroom. Just as he reached before the classroom and threw out the window, and he had seen Mr. Hamill was sitting in his chair. Again, the boy got surprised. You know what happened? And again, he got surprised to see that the dress sense of him, Mr. Hamill, was tremendously good, because he was wearing a green shirt, a green cord, a frilled shirt, and a short embroidered hat he was wearing. This was the dress sense which he used to wear when the convocation or inspection used to be taken place in the school premises. But it was nothing on that day. No function was there, no convocation, no inspection, nothing would be there. So why he was very well dressed? He just wanted to know. The boy was curious. His curiosity was increasing because so many unusual things he had seen on his way. Number one, the musical sounds of the Prussian soldiers. Number two, the crowd never bulletin board. And why the blacksmith watcher he was calling, that he had plenty of time. And why the school is cool and school has a cool and calm atmosphere as Sunday morning. And why Mr. Hamill, he is very well dressed. So he had left all the things at the side, and he seeked the permission. May I come in, sir? And Mr. Hamill, rather than just scolding him, and he very politely and humbly called by, oh, little Franz, thank God, my boy, please come inside. I was about to start the lecture in your absence, and thank God you have come over here. And please take your seat. Again, the boy got surprised. He means why Mr. Hamill had not scolded me here. As he got entered inside, and after entering inside, again the boy got surprised. The one more unusual thing he had seen. As he got entered inside, and he was surprised to see that there the old villagers were sitting at the back benches, and they were having the age of 60 years old, 70 years old, and the oldest man was sitting, and his name was Mr. Hauser, and he was of nearby 80 years old. He was holding a primer. Primer means, just like in English we are having A for apple, B for ball, this is called primer, and he was holding a French language primer on his knees, and he threw out his spectacles, and he was trying to read the alphabet or what was written over it, and he was looking very comic. And that time Franz, he was about to burst into laughter, but he controlled himself, and silently he went back and occupied his seat. Now this time Mr. Hamill, he left his seat and he just got up. He was not having any ruler, and moreover his sound was very much murmuring. In the murmuring sound, he started delivering his lecture. He announced, my dear students and dear villagers, it is my painful duty to inform all of you that it's my last lecture. As you know very well, the two cities, Alsace and Lorraine, had been occupied by Prussian and Germans, and the orders had been released from the Berlin to expel all the French language teachers by the Germans. So that's why means I need to leave the school premises here. When he had announced, so little Franz, he had got the answers of all of his doubts. He means why the Prussian soldiers were doing drill march. Number two, why the crowd was there nearby the bulletin board. Why the blacksmith watcher was calling that he had plenty of time. Why the school is cool and calm, having cool and calm atmosphere. Why Mr. Hamill did not chide him. Why he was very well dressed, and why these old villagers were sitting in the classroom, because old villagers who used to respect Mr. Hamill, who had completed his 40-year service with honesty and dedication, and that's why they had come to pay their respect as a vote of thanks to him, and they wanted to show their farewell to their respective teachers. And now this time Tears were just about to be rolled out of his eyes, and he started getting sentiment, full of emotions, and started listening Mr. Hamill by putting his 100% concentration, such kind of concentration he had never paid attention in the classroom since he had been studying over there. So now Mr. Hamill, one after one, on each and every topic, he was delivering his lecture, and he distributed the handouts to all the persons who were sitting in the classroom. And on each page, it was in France, Alsace, it was written, and down so a little bit after some time, just on the windows, upper windows, some pigeons were sitting, and they were going, and France, he wanted to burst his frustration, and in his mind he started talking to himself. He means, do they want these pigeons should speak in German language? My goodness, this is our country and we cannot forget our mother tongue. At that time, it was the questioning of the timing for the questioning, and then Mr. Hamill, and he made Franz stand up, and he started asking questions. Yes, Franz, yesterday I had given you some participles. Tell me. When Franz, he got up, but unfortunately he had not learned even a single word. Suppose it is the common habit of the human being, whenever the person who has not learned even a single word, and he usually starts doing stammering in this way, like A for apple, B for ball, like that. In the same manner, he started doing stammering. Immediately Mr. Hamill, he interrupted and he stopped himself. Just listen. Only you and your parents are not supposed to be blamed. Even I do blame, because I have wasted your time many times. I had given you vacant days when I used to go for fishing. I had given you vacant times when I used to go for cleaning of my house. Or if I had not wasted your time, if I had utilized your time, if I had done hard work along with you, you would not have done stammering right now. Means, little friends, this is not only of your fault. Please sit down. And he made him sit, and after that he started delivering the lecture on French language. He requested everyone, my dear students and dear villagers, please do not forget about your mother tongue. Your mother tongue is French language, as this is one of the most beautiful and logical languages of the world. And he also suggested everyone, he means the person can make your body slave, but mentally you would be slave whenever if you are going to forget about your mother tongue. So please not to forget, and always respect this language. With these words, when he was delivering his lecture, suddenly what happened, he just in front of the main gate of the school, and there was a church, and just before the church there was a clock tower, and it struck 12, dun dun, in this way. As the church clock was striking 12, the sound of the Prussian soldiers' drill march started entering in the classroom, and Mr. Hamill, and he got emotional, and the book he was having, and he closed the book and put it on the table, and he picked a chalk and wrote on the board, Vive la France, V-I-V-E, Vive, L-A la, F-R-A-N-C-E, France. It means France, Zindabad, long live France. These words he had said, and asked everyone, my dear boys and my dear boys and my dear villagers, my lecture is over and you may go now. And with these words, and he left the place, and everybody by having tears in their eyes, and they had left the place. And this is one of the emotional stories which Mr. Alphonse Daudet had beautifully depicted in front of the eyes of the readers. And actually, throughout this story, we have come to know that what kind of pain and agony Mr. Alphonse Daudet was having at that time, although he was working in French army, but he just wanted to show his patriotism. He wanted to show his dedication towards his mother tongue in the form of the characterization. Maybe characterization may be fictional, but even then the story is real. That if you check it out on Google, you will find out that France and Lawrence, at that time, before 1870, it used to be part of France, and now it is a part of Germany. So this happened at that time. So this is the story which I have depicted in this way, and just try to learn the question answers and modify the words in your own languages and make it more and more beautiful, ladies and gentlemen. So hopefully that things you have enjoyed my lecture. Thank you so much once again, and next time I'll be coming you with the next chapter. Till then, take care. See you. Bye bye.